G'day everyone, in this episode I'm going to show you how to install wall paneling and dado rails. Now, the panels I've got just imitate lining boards. You can also do this with lining boards depending on the look that you want. First thing we want to do is clean the walls, find out where our studs are so that way we can put our nails in. After that, once everything's nice and neat and level, we'll put our dado rail in and that'll be that. So we'll jump into it. I'll show you how to set things up and how to set out your boards so you don't end up with any little thin strips in places you don't want them. And then I'll show you the timber I'm working with and how to install it. Now for the best results, you want to take your skirting boards off. You can potentially go on top of your existing skirting boards, but in this situation we won't be doing that. So if you do take your boards off, you also want to clean up any no more gaps with a scraper. Alright, now I just want to scuff the wall up with some sandpaper. Going to mark where the studs are. Floors are going to get polished, so I don't really care about drawing on the ground, but if your floors are finished, just use some masking tape and that way you won't have to draw on your floorboards. Okay, so we've marked our studs at the bottom and at the top. Now another thing I'm doing is checking these architraves for plumb, and if they're not plumb, I'll just correct the level so that it is plumb, and I'll look at that gap, and we measure that gap, but just by looking at that I can tell it's 2 mil. So I'm going to say plus 2 mil here, so this, if I measure the sheet across the bottom where the level is touching, where it's 0, when I measure across the bottom, I know I can add 2 mil to make it longer at the top here. Now for instance, if you measure the top and bottom and both architraves are leaning the same way, maybe because the wall is shifted, you may have the same measurement, but it doesn't necessarily mean your cuts will be right angles or plumb. So it's important to check that. We'll make a note of it on the wall and then we'll compensate for that when we cut the sheets. So the same thing again, just to reiterate, push it hard up. This time I'm pulling the bottom of the level out, so at the top will be 0, and here I need to add 3 mil, so plus 3 there. Now I'll do that for every architrave and then we can start cutting some sheets. Okay, I've just drawn a crude picture here, but basically this is the dado rail and that is the panel that we'll be using. Now the dado rail overhangs the panels, and what I want is 1 meter to the top of the rail from the ground. So I'll be keeping the sheets 20 mil off the bottom of the floor. I'm gonna have a 5 mil wiggle room gap in here, which means there's about a 15 mil overlap. With the dimensions of the dado rail, and I know my rebate here is 20 mil, it gives me the length of the sheet, and it also gives me a line that I want to level across. So that's the next thing we've got to figure out, is our level line. All right, now I'm just gonna mark 950 on the wall in the middle of the hallway. Now I'm just going to use my laser to level that across the whole hallway. Alright, so we've got our laser lined up. That's our mark there. And the beauty of the laser is that it's going to project that line on all the other walls. Even here you can still see it. So we know that our paneling will be level regardless of how level the floor is. Okay, so these are our sheets here. Now, we know we want to cut all of these at 930. That'll give us a 20 mil gap underneath. Just allows for expansion, and it's a good way we can pack it up and down, get it right, and then that gap will get covered by skirting boards. So we know our sheets will be 930. That's pretty straightforward. We can mark that, cut that. Now what we want to know is where to start. So basically if we start with the maker's edge and push that all the way hard up into the corner, first of all there might be a gap because the architraves aren't plumb, and second of all, by the time we lay all these sheets on the wall, we might end up with a skinny piece right where one of these V-joints is. So what we might want to do is actually start with half a piece cut off so that we don't end up with a tiny little crappy piece of timber against the architrave. That'll look really bad. So we're trying to avoid that. And to avoid that, we need to get some measurements, starting with the overall width of the sheet, which is 1200. And then each one of these V joints is at 100 mil. So we'll measure each section of wall between architraves, and then we will cut these sheets to suit so that they're either symmetrical looking, keeping in mind that we want to use our offcuts wisely, and we also, we want to avoid any skinny pieces of timber. All right, so let's start where it's easy. 0 at the top, 0 at the bottom. That means this architrave is plumb. It makes sense. It's a new door with a new architrave. Now, we also want to get this overall measurement. We've got 2370 across the top and 2375 across the bottom. So 2370 is pretty close to 2 full sheets. 2 full sheets would be 2400. So we only missed that by 30 mil, which basically what that means is we're going to be cutting 30 mil off the edge of one of these sheets, which means we're left with 70 mil worth of timber before that joint, which is more than half, which I think is acceptable. The other alternative would be to split that difference. So we've got 30 mil here. We could actually take 15 mil off both sheets, and that would mean that these sheets are symmetrical to the architraves. Now, one thing I did do as well was I chamfered the back corner just to compensate for any paint or no more gaps that might be existing on the wall. So that won't interfere now. So I will be using glue and nails. I'll just be using liquid nails. That's going to kind of take up any humps and bumps, and then the nails will obviously just hold it in position until the glue dries. Alright, so that's our first one nailed on. Obviously I'm trying to keep the nails hidden either by the dado rail or the skirting board, but you will need a couple on the edges there, and those nail holes will have to be filled up, but all in the name of progress. Now we can measure in this last sheet and allow for any inaccuracies in the architraves. Alright, as you can see, it took a bit of trimming on the edges to get these right, but with the use of a plane or a sander, that's nice and easy work. Now once all your pieces are nailed on, before the glue dries, you want to make sure it's as straight as can be. Now the plaster might not necessarily be flat. You can kind of see I've got some gaps in here. But what we want to do is check our timber, and what we can do is pry the timber away from the wall where the nails are. So you kind of just want to pick the best line. I've got a bit of a gap here, so what I can do, I can just pull it away from the wall a bit. And there we go, that's much flatter. Now, the gap I've just created by doing that will get hidden by the dado rail. You'll win a lot of variation with the dado rail if you're smart about it, and that's the benefit of using that rebate that is cut into it. All right, we're back. We're working in the hallway again. We had to wait a little while for our dado rails to arrive, and because it's been a couple of weeks, my beard has suddenly gone missing. So I hope that clears up any confusion. We'll rip into these rails. Pretty much the same as the skirting. You just measure it end to end. In the internal corners, we'll just miter those. So let's jump into that. Pretty straightforward stuff, just cutting, nailing, bit of glue, and we'll pretty much be done. All right, so I've just cut this first piece. I've chamfered this corner to suit the architrave, and I just want to show you that rebate as well. That's what covers over the wall paneling, and it makes sure this edge sits hard up against the plaster. So it'll all look pretty neat and tidy when it's done. We'll get it on and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so the hallway ends here, so I've cut an external corner on that piece here, and I'll show you how to make a piece like this as well, but this is how we return a corner. And we'll glue that block in like that, and that way it comes, and then it goes around its own corner into the wall, and that's how we're going to separate these two areas. Alright, to measure this one in, I'm just going to measure as tight as I can to this external corner. I've got about 808 mil, so I'll take 1 millimeter off. What you might find is the easiest thing to do would be to cut your miter and leave the piece long. So we'll cut the miter. And now we can hook onto the longest point with our tape measure, and that's where we measure our 808 millimeters from. And so I've marked 808. I'm going to cut that line off, and that should be that extra little bit of wiggle room I'm looking for. And this accurate cut is a lot easier to make because we're only working vertically as opposed to on an angle. Alright, so that's our piece there. Now what we need to do is make this corner, and you'll want to avoid using small pieces. The smaller your piece gets, the more dangerous things get. What you want to do is put an angle cut on a larger offcut, and then we'll work exactly and nip that little block off. So this is the shortest offcut I have. Once again, we'll make our angle cut first. So here we have our angle. Now what we want to do is cut a square line all the way down here. And all we're going to be left with is a corner piece. Alright, now what we're left with are these two pieces. They come together like that. And when the corner is right, these two pieces should be flush on the back edge. Give it a go. You might actually have to recut this small piece a couple times, and make sure you cut it safely. Don't try adjust a piece. If it's wrong, start again. Alright, now we want to test fit this piece, but it's actually crashing into the MDF panels here. So we need to do a little bit of a check out with a very precise handsaw. So this is just a pull saw, very fine, paper thin as much as steel can be. We're just going to take our time to cut this little piece out. There you go, pretty easy to snap, so I'll be recutting that and trying again. Alright, that sums up this video. Now I've got a few photos here from when everything was finished and painted. There's also a few photos of the bedrooms which we've been working on, so if you can already tell, this video is a part of a series of videos that I'm doing on this house. I'm giving it quite the makeover and doing a few tutorials along the way. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. You'll see those videos as they come out, and hopefully you enjoy following along, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.